can a non-finance student, a non-commerce student, an engineer be able to crack a CFA exam or an FRM exam, or is finance the right option for him or her? So basically, first question is the doability. So is it possible? And of course it is. And with what effort can a non-finance, non-commerce student appear for, or an engineer crack a finance exam like a CFA or an FRM? The second question is, why would you want to do it? Why would you want to study finance? Why would an engineer or a non-commerce student want to study finance? The third one is just a few examples, you know, of work profiles and all, where you could combine the knowledge of both. And lastly, I would discuss CFA versus FRM. So very quickly, let's just begin. When I'm talking about the doability part, the idea is that one, finance and commerce is not the same thing. When I'm talking about finance, it's a separate subject altogether. When I'm talking about commerce, it's relatively separate. Now what happens is, when you're looking at finance, finance itself has got like 10, 12, 15 subjects or so. You have equity valuations, you have fixed income valuations, you have alternate investments, you have risk management, you have derivatives, you have a lot of subjects. So the one thing is clear, that you don't have to worry about the fact that you're not a commerce student and therefore you cannot do finance, because finance is a very specialized area of commerce, if you can call it, or an extension of commerce, or you can say commerce is separate and finance is separate. So we don't have taxation, laws, costing, accounting and all in finance. But yes, you need to be able to read financial reports. So that level, that very basic level of understanding is needed, which anyways, even whether you're doing a CFA or a FRM or whatever you're doing, that basic understanding is given to you from the very, very beginning, from the very, very nascent stage. So you don't have to worry about it. Now the second thing is, why would you want to get into finance? What is the advantage of getting into a finance designation, learning finance? See, one is, I just heard from someone that the way to a boardroom is through finance. Now the idea is, like, say for example, even if you're planning to do an MBA, we see a good chunk, good proportion of engineers and all are occupying, in a B school. So you are making a shift towards business administration, and if you want to get into a finance specialization, so the amount of finance that is covered in, say for example, in a MBA college would not be as much as it is going to be covered when you're getting a proper specialized area of finance knowledge. So if you're planning to do an MBA, I know it's, I've seen it becomes a little difficult for engineers to cope, you know, with the speed and with the amount of things, because you have HR, admin, etc., finance, marketing, etc. to study. So it becomes relatively very advantageous to know finance and to have a good background of finance before entering. That is one. Two, if you want to enhance your career in a more leadership roles in your company, that is two. The next thing is, when I'm looking at the examples. So now, when I'm looking at multiple options, say for example, I'll give you a few popular names, if I may. Kunal Shah, so youngest partner in Goldman Sachs, and he was a maths honors guy. And because of his number crunching, he got into it, and he's into more of technical trades and all. So just to give an idea, so when you're doing technical analysis and all, Fibonacci numbers and all those are also used in order to do that. Although CFA is not about technicals or neither FRM, but you need to have a good idea about finance in general in order to get into the stream, because there are a lot of other factors which matter. A very small part of technical analysis is there in CFA. And coming to my last bit, CFA versus FRM. So when I'm talking about CFA, I'm talking about finance in general, and when I'm talking about FRM, I'm talking about finance specializing in risk management domain. So when you're looking at a career broadly into finance area, you should look at CFA. If you're looking at a career wherein, you know, you're probably into bank or IT risks and risk management, or you're a derivative trader and your profile is related to compliances, internal controls, risk and fintech or something of that sort, in that case you could be looking at an FRM. If you're looking at finance in general, equity analyst, portfolio manager, treasury, investor, bonds analyst, trader, etc., you could be looking at more of a CFA designation. But before you enter and, you know, take a hasty decision, my sincere request and advice to you would be that we've got the introduction playlist of CFA and FRM on YouTube. So there is a syllabus portion and there is a scope portion. So what is the scope of each of the designations? CFA separately and FRM, there's another playlist. What is the syllabus of each? So I've explained the syllabus in an hour or so. and also the exam and preparation and all the other portions are covered. So at least the syllabus and scope for sure, and even the exam and preparation, if you're scared about, you know, how to go about it, my advice would be that you take an informed decision. Before you put in so much money, before you put in so much of time and effort and everything, I think it's much better to take an informed decision. But all said and done, if you are making a career, if you're planning to make a career in finance, CFA, FRM, they are the most coveted designations in finance across the globe. So all the very best, and yeah, the details are given. So if you have any query, you can ping us and would be happy to help. Thank you.